Or we knew what they were doing. Exactly. 6 out of 9 sluts recommend. No, 9 out of 10 sluts. Condoms putting dentists out of business. I love this. This is like great. The end has to be the guy winking at the cam with the brightest smile. Right? Oh my God. I mean, don't laugh if in like a year from now I start selling those. 100%. Enzymes. It's always enzymes. Yeah, like what are those like little microscopic things that we use to like clean water? Why can't we like make them to clean out? to like, you know, like how chlorine reacts with certain chemicals to make it like clean in your pool. Like there's got to be like some type of healthy, like something you can have that will react with certain types of things in your spit and make it good. Okay, I gotta go ask all my neighbors if they have my Amazon package, and I hope nobody opened it. Oh no. A condom a day keeps the dentist away. How do I get my teeth so white? How do I get my teeth so white, you ask? Well, just by using one of these a day. Oh my God. You answer. Oh my God. Elaborate on the autoimmune thing from the enemas. Oh, okay. So I have a Hashimoto's autoimmune issue. So I cleaned out. So I have a thyroid problem, right? The thyroid problem, I think, is a little bit of hereditary stuff, but I also just think it was my living during the pandemic that really like fucked it. But I have, can I be the director for the commercial? Are you sure you want to be around a bunch of hard dicks not actually getting sucked off? Sure, you can direct it. So I cleaned out my intestines, like all the way to like the full lower intestine. I cleaned out so good, right? I could be clean for 3 days. I cleaned it out with shower enema. So I was using just like regular water out of the fucking shower. And I cleaned out all of the good gut bacteria for so long and didn't induce supplements. And I was doing this probably 5 to 6 times a week for about 7 years, to where I have Hashimoto's. And I think a lot of it started because I literally took all of the good bacteria out of my body, because when I had talked to my doctor, I was like, you know, like what could cause this? Hereditary. And he was like, it really just is like sometimes like, you know, how your immune system is when you're growing up. So I went through a lot of trauma, which affects my immune system long term growing up. And then he's also like, it's the trauma you put your body through. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see. I put my body through immense amounts of antibiotic use because of porn. I've cleaned out so much because of porn. And he was like, yeah, getting rid of your gut biome is like one of the best things for you. And there's no studies to prove how long-term like enemas can affect your body. But he's like, there's so many studies on good gut biome. And if you're cleaning that out, yeah, it's going to fuck with you. I drink turmeric bone broth miso soup. Take some of my poop if you want it. I'm very healthy. I recently just thought about that. I was thinking like maybe I could do one of those poop transplants. Some people use coffee enemas with distilled water. Mad rad. So for about 3 months, I was doing coffee enemas twice a day to try and help some of the issues I have. And it cleared out a lot of the inflammation and issues. But now I've just got to control it with diet, as well as just get my gut health back to normal. But it could take years. Make like 10 vids selling weird health products too. What about an infomercial genre? Make like 10 vids selling weird health toys / products. So the goal is to build my own company that's doing that and actually making good, real, beneficial products that are sustainable, right? And then to amass women to sell them for me under my umbrella. That's the goal. Daddy Al, when? So I was supposed to be on early today. I had meetings all day. So tomorrow before I do subscriber day, we can play that. Have you ever tried doing Zippo tricks before? If you bend the wick down 90, light it, and then rub up your thumb, index finger over the flame, it won't hurt you. The flame will appear to go out, but it's still lit below the metal, and then simply shake the lighter and it'll appear to magically ignite. That's why I don't do it. I think that while I was never like had my holes injured in porn, I mean, I have had stitches in my vajay before from a fisting scene that went wrong. And I've been out of work for about a month for anal from an anal scene that had really bad tearing. So there are some of those things that you guys don't know about. It happens to sometimes people a lot. I don't feel, hold on. Do you feel you push your body? I feel that I pushed my body too far without the right understandings of the effects of it, right? So like my back hurts because like, for instance, like if I meet any new girl and they're like, oh, like I want to do this position, I'm like, cool, do that position. But you need to stretch, like you're going to stretch for a workout days leading up to it. You want to have your body be stretched and loose, not just your holes, your actual muscle tissue. And if you're doing any scene where you're compressed, you want to decompress for the same amount of time. So if you're tied, like I had scenes where I was tied wonky ways, or I had scenes where I'm doing a lot of pile driver. My body wouldn't be in a bad state if I would have had the knowledge or somebody would have provided me this knowledge, but it's just porn. So no one seems to provide it or gather it or talk to people. If I would have had the knowledge to take care of myself and like, you know, when my spine was being compressed, decompressed it for the same amount of time I was being compressed on, then I'd be a lot better off. So I don't think I've like, you know, I've done things and I just wish I was safer and smart about them looking back. Yeah, I have severe back pain a lot. I have neck pain. Right, Blade? Right? At least now you know. Yeah, so I met with a girl today and she was like, what's some good advice? Give me these type of advices. And I was like, you know, treat yourself like it's more than sex. Treat yourself like an athlete. Operate like you're an athlete. You know, if you're performing, because that's what you're doing. If you're doing performance level, professional level sex, then treat your body the way an athlete would, because that's going to be your best bet, and you're going to have the best for longevity. But most of the women I know that do crazy things that I do have a lot of the same health issues I have, or stop doing porn because of the same health issues I have. So I think no matter what, you still have long-term injuries for sure. Guys have terrible knee and hip problems because of the way they open up, for sure. My GF thinks I'm an athlete. I love that. Why don't those clinics have wellness branches that share these insights? Because it's really just like a person-to-person based thing. Like they just do standardized testing. Shit, it keeps going out. They just do standardized testing. You know, the only way that could happen is if people unionized it, or you just told girls. Like I tell girls all the time, anytime I meet a new girl, like I puke all of my information on them. You know, you just have to be verbal about it. Like, because I didn't find out information until I was big enough to hang out with the cool girls. And then when I was popular enough to hang out with the cool girls, they all talk about it, right? But the reality is like, this needs to be expressed down to the new girls. Like, if you look at my Twitter, there are tweets on there that's like, if anybody needs help on learning how to control their vaginal pH, like hit me up. And I've had parties where it's not like a party where I've just said like, hey, to any lady that wants to come over and swim in my pool and wants to know how to take care of your vagina, I've got some tips, right? Like, so I do all that. And some of the older girls have helped and aided with it, but I think it's just like, it's not that you're trying to gatekeep it. You just don't want to tell people like stuff or talk to new girls because they kind of have to prove themselves. But I think like as an older figure in the industry, you have to like go out of your way to just be like, hey, if you want information, here you go. Oh, thanks. XXX. Any tips for guys like in the industry? I get a little weird about telling tips for guys sometimes because everyone's going to ask me about their dick size. Not that I don't want to tell you. It's just people are going to start being like, what's my dick size? I mean, the same thing goes for men, like tips for men. You know, learning how to build up your stamina, not on Viagra, building up your stamina, not on sex and performance enhancing drugs is the best thing you can do. If you have to take a Viagra here and there for a scene, fine, totally. That's totally okay because nerves and stuff with your dick is a lot different. But if you have to take a Viagra to perform all the time, or you have to do performance enhancing drugs, but like you're still a top tier performer, or you're really good at your job, but you still need that substance, you need to figure out how to not use that substance. And you need to maybe not be a porn star because using these substances on long term fuck you up. You get used to them. A lot of men have a lot of problem where they're taking 2 or 3 Viagras for a scene. Then it takes them a long time to come. And those things have adverse effects when you use them in high doses and a lot. So I would say like, you know, trying to do everything the same way I said for women. Make sure you're treating your body like you're an athlete. Stay healthy. Don't get codependent on products. Learn how to read your body and know how you feel. And then the same thing, men have a lot of hip and knee problems. So if you're a man and you're performing, like, I don't give a fuck. You stop the scene and say, I want a pillow under my knee if I'm fucking on this couch. I'm going to wear knee pads if I'm keeping my pants on. That's not weird. No one's going to laugh at you. That's normal. You just don't see it because it's a lot on your body. You're not fucking for 20 minutes. You're fucking for an hour to 3 hours sometimes. It's wild. It's a xenomorph. My mod Neil got it for my birthday. It's a light. It's actually a lamp. I would pick it up, but it's very delicate. So one day I'll put my camera over there because it's extremely delicate. It's very, very delicate. It broke when it arrived and then when I moved it because it's like handmade out of almost like glue gun type stuff. And I had to take it to a toy maker 2 times already to fix it. That's a lot of fucking. It's a lot of fucking. It's a lot of fucking. Hey, Haram Beats. It's a lot of fucking. Even on shorter vids, you're still filming that long? Yeah, like if a vid's 40, like if you see a 20-minute finished product, if it's a professional scene, it's probably about 45 minutes of like fucking. Yeah, there are some companies where I've literally done 4 or 5 hour scenes. And then sometimes you're doing all these crazy scenes and then you stop. And you have to take pretty girls or you have to stop so you can do this and then go back to it. And it's also a lot of up and down or unstretching, you know? J Mitch, he's a Disney princess. I want him to be a Disney princess. No, actually, then I get jealous. That's like a marathon. It is. Do you get paid that day for the scene since you're at a top talent, or do you get paid early? No, you get paid after the scene is done. So you get paid at the end of the scene. And then very few companies will pay you, like you'll get a check like in 2 or 3 days. But another thing is if you're a guy, right, you get paid at the end of the scene because what happens if your dick doesn't work as well? If you want to work for that company again, you better let them deduct money from you. I've had male talent that haven't come and been like, so how much do I owe you at the end of my own scenes? So how much do I owe you, right? And the guys that will say the same rate that I hire them for in the beginning, I'll never fucking hire them again. If they give me a shit scene or they're not hard, no fucking way. You better bow out and you better be like, thank you, Adriana, so much, because I am the best person to work for. If everybody thinks your rate is 800 because I'm a performer as a guy, and you were to say, I want 1,000, I will happily give you $1,000. I will ask you which person you want to fuck that's going to make you feel good and give you that person, or I'll fuck you. You know, I'm like the best person to work for. So when guys like have failed on me and they still take the full amount, I'm like, oh, you're a fucking douche. And then straight up been like, yo, Adriana, you want to hire me again next week? I'm like, I've straight up blown up on guys. I'm like, what the fuck did you think I did with that scene? Like, I made a compilation of just your ass cheeks, bro. Black full camera, limp dick noodle. Like, no, I don't want to hire you again. No, you shouldn't be a porn star. I get mad. I get mad. Too real.